Regardless of if you like the game or not, Genshin Impact has had many friends and family in a vice grip over the past 2 years or so. It couldn't have come at a better time. After the resounding success and popularity of Breath of the Wild, the world wanted more games that had this open world style, but in a more casual setting. Add in a global pandemic that forced lots of people to stay home with little to do, and it all totaled up to one of the most profitable and talked about games in recent memory. As we are here to talk about video game marketing, there's definitely a lot to say about what Genshin does try to do, and what they don't do. Some ad strategies are very effective, like their character trailers, while others just seem, wasteful. However, there's one aspect of marketing that I want to talk about. Something that seemed to stem directly from the social media team itself. Something that was just an offhanded response on Twitter that became a term that every single player now knows. Drip marketing. First off, there is no such thing as drip marketing, or at least not in the way that Genshin has used it. Upon some quick research online, drip marketing refers to a strategy where, you send a constant automated flow of ads, emails, or whatever to your customers in order to try and get them to buy something. It revolves around this concept known as the Law of 29, which basically says that, people won't buy something unless they've seen the ad or seen the product 29 times beforehand. For Genshin though, drip marketing just refers to revealing new characters, one patch before they're slated to appear. After that, they kinda don't do anything with it until the character is closer to release. To many, this was seen as a way for Genshin and Hoyoverse to prevent leakers from spoiling and revealing the information from beta tests themselves. Basically, if we leak before the leakers, then we win type of deal. It was nice because we got official art, and then people all over the world would post about it. They would share their own fan art, or just fawn over these new characters. Honestly, it was a great way to farm engagement. However, now that it's become a guidepost of sorts for many in the community. If you're a free-to-play player, a dolphin, or whatever aquatic mammal that isn't a whale, you probably want to be frugal with your primos. It's not like we get a surplus of them in the game. So, drip marketing is pretty useful in a way because it helps us know whether or not we should roll for a character now or wait one more patch. Now, you might be thinking though, well wait Protag, if you save your primos, then you aren't spending your primos, which would mean less people are buying them from the shop and the people are then spending less. Isn't that bad for the company? Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. Genshin's biggest marketing tactic before all of this was FOMO, or fear of missing out. If you didn't know about a new character until right before their banner showed up, and all of a sudden you wanted them, you were forced to spend money to, try and get them, or else you're gonna be sad while everyone else has their new character to play with. However, thanks to leakers, Genshin was essentially forced to share their new characters early to combat all of these spoilers, which then nullified any chance of FOMO that players might have, since now they can plan ahead. However, how costly was that change? Or did it change anything at all? Unfortunately, we don't have a way to find the NA sales from Genshin, and any updated sales data online seem to only stem from the Chinese markets. Thankfully, their Twitter equivalent Weibo does have a Genshin Impact account that also does drip marketing. So while we can't necessarily correlate the drip with sales, we can still see if there have been any patterns with the sales since the introduction of drip marketing compared to before. The first drip marketing post was done on Monday, June 7th, 2021. So if we take the average sales from before and after that day, then we can hopefully see if there's some sort of significance. From what we can see, the average amount spent per banner before the introduction of drip was around $14 million. Afterwards, we see an uptick in spending, now about $20.6 million per banner. Now of course there are some discrepancies, like that one random Kuching banner, but the result still stays the same regardless. Now, by no means should this data be conclusive of anything. This is just a basic formula to help us see whether or not there's been a change to spending. We have no way of saying it was because of drip marketing or anything else. It's even harder since most of these new banners contain up to 2 different limited units, so there's no way of separating revenue from each one. However, there are some interesting patterns. The first one was almost all of the meta units saw a huge boost in numbers during their reruns compared to their initial release. I say almost because poor Zhongli over here did not get that treatment. I don't know why. The second thing was that there was a period of time where sales were above 20 million for 4 consecutive banners. After closer inspection, I can kinda see why. Other than that though, I didn't see much else stand out. If you want to discuss the numbers and share things that you might have found, then feel free to leave a comment down below. Just keep the discussion civil, please. In the end, we can't say whether or not there was any lost profit from drip marketing. But for the past 2 years the game has been out, people have continued to spend money, regardless of their reasoning. And it's not like the world hasn't gone through economic difficulties these past few years. Spending during a pandemic and potential economic recessions threaten almost everyone's wallets. Yet, people will keep rolling for their hydro and electro mommies. And so, that's the advice I want to share with you today. Like what many have said before, if you aren't a whale, just save for your favorites. Players now have the ability to choose whether or not they drop stacks for a character well in advance, and that's information that many other gacha games don't provide. As a free-to-play player myself, I've only rolled for characters that I really want. For example, my goal right now is C6 Ayaka. I'm about halfway there and I have around 25,000 primo saved up for her. So for those who might be wondering, it's definitely possible to show restraint. But if you do decide to pull though, I do wish you all the best of luck.